Hello, and welcome to the Venue Coach Blueprint for Owners. I'm Kyle Labar. This podcast is all about helping you fill your wedding venue with more bookings, earn more from each one, and keep your customers happy for a long time. We'll also talk about some tough times and big lessons that I've learned along the way. Let's dive in together and make your venue the best spot for weddings. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Venue Coach. Today, I wanted to talk about a topic that came up during one of my coaching calls with a client. And during this call, some of the stuff that I do with my venue clients is they have to record their tours. And so then I can listen to them and provide feedback, kind of like a batting coach would, watch you swing and then give critiques and feedback on how to improve your stance and your swing and everything like that, or like golf, whatever the analogy is that would fit for you. But in this call, on the recording, I just kept noticing that there's a lot of distractions on the tour, and so it seemed like a decent sized group, maybe 4 people who had come out to view the venue, and they immediately just kind of started bombarding with questions and things like that. And so the feedback that I gave was, it just felt like the manager was a bit distracted by it, and the tour was being commandeered by all of this. And so I'm not saying don't answer your prospects' questions. Of course you want to do that, but they were in complete control. And so the key takeaway that I had from this is, first, it's important to have a flow to your tour. And this manager was relatively new, and so I can't fault them for not knowing anything like that. And so it was actually a very productive call, I feel, and helping them get in tune or aligned with how the tours should flow. And so it was working through, okay, you should have a good process, a flow, a way that you like to conduct the tour every single time that happens regardless. And so, by all means, answer your prospects' questions. Make sure that you're not just ignoring them for the sake of doing the quote unquote script. And that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you should have a pretty standardized start here. We start with opening the door. We say, we do some rapport building at the beginning. Then we set the ground rules for the tour. And this is where I really hit on with this individual, is we set the ground rules at the beginning of the tour, meaning, or not the ground rules, but the tone. We set the tone for the tour. And what I mean by that is, before we get started, you want to emphasize the value. Like, why are they here? And you have to remember that. So why are they here? They're there to learn more about your venue and to make a decision to rent a venue. And so you are, and this is what we do in our own venues, and this is what really helps drive our conversion rates up. And so what we focus on, and what I coach my clients to do, is to focus on presenting the value at the beginning. The prospect doesn't know what you offer, and I'm not talking just about the amenities of the venue. While those are great, and you should absolutely talk about those, if you have a beautiful venue, which many of you do, there are so many beautiful venues, then of course you want to highlight that. Of course you want to talk about the different features and the different amenities that you have. But the key that you're selling isn't necessarily the venue, because like I said, there's many venues that are beautiful. Yours is not the only beautiful venue around. And so what sets you apart? And that's what you want to emphasize at the beginning of the tour. So it's not your amenities. What we focus on is the feeling and the experience that they are going to have when they work with us. And so the focus that we have is on highlighting those things to make sure that the couple is aware of the value that we're bringing, because they don't know. They're coming out. That's literally why they're there. And so we'll say things like, once we've done some rapport building, we'll say things like, hey, this is a very stressful time. Our whole goal as a venue and as a company is to help alleviate that stress, not just right now to move on to the next step of your planning, but our goal is also to help make the process to your big day as stress-free as possible. So we have preferred vendors that we can recommend. We can answer any questions that you have, because we've done this a lot. And our whole goal is to make sure that your big day is perfect, or as near to perfect as we can get it. And so you set the tone with that. And now what you've done is you've anchored the value. And as you go through the tour, you can reference back to that occasionally as you go. So it could be if you have a liquor license, oh, well, we can't, it's not BYOB. No, we don't. We actually found that by having our liquor license, of course we're in business, but it really, everything we do is to remove stress. And so that way you don't have to worry about getting cups and napkins and straws and alcohol and carrying coolers around and doing that 2 days before or the night before your big day, when you could just focus on getting ready and celebrating each other. And so we're taking away stress. And so you can refer back to that each time as you're going through the tour. And so you're setting up that framework at the beginning. So that was just something that stuck out to me on that call, was just, hey, let's take control. First, we need to take control of the tour, and then we need to properly position our value at the beginning and use that as an anchor. And so hopefully that's been helpful, or this is helpful for you guys, something to try out on your next tours and see how it resonates with your prospects. And if it was useful, if you liked it, give a like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and I will catch you on the next one.